The centuries-old tradition of husky racing is alive and well in the United States state of Alaska, but a changing climate means the competition season for these canine athletes is shrinking, says Tom Martin. A cold snap whips between the trees, making the most of a clear patch of ice. It was late in summer. Now it's a smooth sheet of white. The sled whispers through the snow, broken only by the panting of 8 dogs working in harmony, pulling pitch job built by her husband and fellow racer, Cody Striff. This is Alaska, not far from the city of Fairbanks. Dog sled racing is huge here. The local breakfast diner features a life-size model of a racer, and the boys are adorned with men and women, snow-beaten and sleep-deprived, surrounded by their loyal huskies. Anywhere outside the United States, and it would be considered a national sport, and in some ways, Alaska does feel like its own nation. Mysterious and remote, only a little more than 1 person per square mile on average, according to the United States Census. Cody and Paige are well into their training for the season's biggest races. The Iditarod and Yukon Quest are 1,000 miles, 600 km, each, and filmed at their difficulty. It's no mean feat for humans. But these dogs are quite special. They are like the athletes. They are the Super Bowl or World Cup athletes of the dog sled world, and we're on them, because that's what they love to do. During a full day, the dogs are burning up to 10,000 calories. To keep them in top form, they are treated like high-performing sportsmen. A high-protein, high-fat diet coupled with daily massages and physiotherapy routines preserves their health, and the love from their owners and companions keeps them motivated. But in recent years, it's been difficult here. The smooth, deep snow required to run the dogs at full strength is later. John Gaddick have lived in Alaska his entire life and runs high-end holidays in the mountains to the north of the state. Mountain sports, dog sledding and running snowmobiles are part of the course, but has seen big changes in recent years. Safe winter travel occurs later each year. In some communities, rivers may never freeze, he says. Our trails across frozen tundra are developing sinkholes as the ice lenses below the tussocks melt and deform. The shorter winters mean hotter, longer summers with more wildfire danger, which only makes the problem worse. For Cody and Paige, this boils down to one thing: rougher trails, later training schedules, and less time for the sport of beating through the trails. Jar at the reins of our battle-weary snowmobile, we are reminded again and again of the increasing difficulty a lack of snow causes in this part of the world. A beeping from the control panel alerts us to a lack of snow beneath the tracks, overheating the engine and all but thwarting our attempts to catch up with the dog teams. Headlights illuminate a string of dogs in front of Cody's truck. The jutting frozen branches pierce the side of the trail. The frozen tundra is an inhospitable place at the best of times, but tonight is akin to a Stephen King book cover. Currently we have some snow, but it's not enough snow to run a big team safely, says Cody. We'd have to have enough snow to cover all the bumps that throw the sled around, and we do not want a dog to step in a hole and cause a shoulder injury or something. Without sufficient snow to run a full dog team safely, they attach the dogs to the front of the truck, using the vehicle's brakes to keep them under control. But this new configuration makes Cody feel distant from the huskies he adores. They still love it. They get to run outside and smell the smells, but it's not as interactive for the musher driver. When you have got a windshield between you, it's more like running dogs on a treadmill. So it's a great training tool, but not the kind of thing you want to do every day. They feed off the energy of the musher, normally clinging onto the back of the sledge. The pitch of Paige's voice helps keep the dogs excited, but Cody has to raise his 2 octaves to encourage them up to race speed. Cody leans out the window into the darkness to shout commands. Half hour left, jeep far right. This has become the only way to train the dogs at the strength they require for the races. 40 and sled dogs is the minimum to be competitive. Cody tells us they have even taught the dogs to stay to the right of the track to prevent incidents with oncoming traffic. Skidacres Kennel, named after Paige's emphasis on skid, is at the top of its game. Paige and Cody started it because of all of dogs, but they quickly fell into competition and now often finish within the top few teams. It's a tradition dating back hundreds of years, a reliable form of travel, now becoming more difficult. Many people moved to Alaska to escape the modern, busy world. But now it seems the world they escaped is changing. Centuries-old traditions far away from the big cities. The relationship between man and dog predates our rising temperatures, and the thought of losing the frozen tundra that fostered that special bond is as terrifying as the looming vast forests Cody trains in. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park, in eastern Hainan province said it would waive the $9.65 ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Miss Mann, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. Use Huawei phones. Shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shannon Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success and bliss." The offer would last until 29 December, the South China Morning Post reported. But it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a border in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story we covered yesterday. https QQXL19YPQLPIC. Twitter.com Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuOceanG. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpad Shenzhen-based LED and display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Mann, 46, used a Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also alleged she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Mann, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying errors. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Mann's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat under business might have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. Mann if it would serve national security interests. I'll help achieve a trade deal with China if I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing. What's good for national security? I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency.